Hello, and welcome to the Elevated Intentions podcast, where we focus on elevating intentions into action. This is a space for honest conversations, personal growth, and learning how to move forward right where you are, not where you think you should be. You don't need perfect timing, a perfect plan, a perfect version of yourself to start creating a life that feels aligned. If you are ready to grow with intention and make meaningful action, you are in the right place. Today's episode is all about something we've all done at some point. Waiting for Monday, waiting for the first day of the month, waiting for the right time to finally start. The truth is, life does not start on Monday. It starts in the moment you decide to stop postponing what matters. So let's talk about why we wait, why it's costing us, and how to start right now. Life doesn't start on a Monday, and it doesn't magically begin on January 1st. Today is January 4th, and I'm recording this. Yeah, it doesn't start on January 1st, but we live like it does, don't we? We get these beautiful ideas, business ideas, healing ideas, creative nudges, lifestyle shifts. We feel inspired, motivated, almost electric, and then we delay. We tell ourselves, I'll start when things calm down. I'll start after the holidays. I'll start once I plan this a little bit more. Then suddenly, weeks pass, months pass, sometimes years. I am talking about something from personal experience here. I decided I was going to start this podcast years and years ago. I bought all the equipment. I came up with all these episodes. I started recording, and then life, personal insecurities, whatever got in the way. I let every excuse take me back one step, two steps, 10 steps. And then it was, oh, I'll start when life slows down a little bit. It's just too much right now. And then I got diagnosed with some hearing loss and a medical condition. That medical condition turned into another medical condition. Now we're being tested for even more medical conditions. So guess what? Life is not going to slow down. I don't know when I thought it was going to, but it's definitely not anytime soon. I don't know if you're going through something like that, where maybe kids' sports get in the way, maybe work gets in the way, maybe just everyday life is passing you by and you just don't even realize it. But you don't have to wait. You can start in the moment that you have an idea. If you want to start a podcast, just start recording. All you need is your phone. I have two here. If you see me going back and forth with my eyes, if you're watching this on video, I have two different videos going right now because I wasn't sure which one I wanted to do. That's okay. It's fine. You can use whatever you want to. Let's say you want to write a book. Write the dadgum book. My goodness, driving in the cars now, everything is so easy just to speak into your phone while you're taking a shower, hit record and just speak it out loud. You don't have to sit down at a laptop on a desk, any specific place, like maybe a coffee shop. No, don't have to do that. You can do it right when and where you want to. Let's say you want to lose weight. You don't have to wait till Monday. Newsflash, your weight, your decisions, it doesn't matter if it is a Thursday night at 6 o'clock and you were fixing dinner and you go, you know what? I think I'll skip the extra helping of mac and cheese tonight. It's probably not healthy for me. I think I'll take a little salad here. You know, it doesn't have to be Monday and definitely does not have to be January 1st. In fact, I am the world's worst for something starting on January 1st. I don't know whose idea that was or where that came from, but most of us are staying up late on New Year's Eve. So then on January 1, you are trying to catch up on sleep. Even if you're not a partier, you're still trying to catch up on your sleep. You're still feeling groggy. January 1 is not the day to start some new workout routine. I'm still trying to figure out who the idiot was that came up with that idea. And it's the winter time. Have you seen all those posts about people talking about how it's the winter, we're supposed to rest and slow down? Yeah, they're onto something there. I think the springtime is when we need to start our new workout program. But no, my point is you can start when you have the idea, when you want to. And then the illusion of the perfect start. Here's the truth that no one wants to admit. Starting on Monday feels safer than starting now. Let me say that again. Starting on Monday feels safer than starting now. Or we can say starting on January 1, starting on February 1, whatever. But starting at some future time that future you can do it. I don't know about you, but me, I have all these grandiose ideas and I make up all these plans. And then tomorrow me is not the same me that came up with the idea at this moment in time. Do you feel me? Like, I don't know what I'm thinking tomorrow me is going to be feeling like, but today me probably has more ideas than tomorrow me. So January 1 feels cleaner than today. Why? Because delay gives us the illusion of control. Ooh. If we can push it out, we don't have to risk failing yet. Have you thought about that? Like, okay, it's Thursday afternoon, and I'm going to start getting up at 5 a.m. on Monday morning. That means I can sleep in tomorrow. And Saturday and Sunday, ooh, those are a free ride. We don't have to worry about those. Weekends don't count, do they? I think calories don't count on weekends either. I've come up with that conclusion. They don't count on cruises either, but that's a whole nother conversation. So if I start on Monday, I still have a couple days to do my crazy and not have to worry about it, right? We don't have to be seen yet. We don't have to confront the fear that comes with beginning something new. But life doesn't honor calendars the way we do. And breakthrough doesn't wait for a fresh planner page. What? Ooh, we're talking some really hard truths here. The hard truth about time: we are not promised tomorrow. Nobody said today at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, whatever, you are going to wake up tomorrow morning. Nobody's promising you that. They're not promising you. The Lord did not say that when you get in your car and you go to work, you're going to come home. There's no promise in that. We don't know what's going to happen. Even the healthiest person on the planet could get in their car and have a car accident and not make it home. People go out and have heart attacks that we think are completely, perfectly well. It doesn't take some grandiose medical condition, health concern, to not make it home today, right? We're not promised tomorrow. In fact, there's a saying that I absolutely love talking about procrastination, because that is an assumption. Of course, it was said much more eloquently than I'm about to, but it's an assumption that God's going to give us more time to do whatever He gave us time today to do. Think about that. You are saying by pushing something off till Monday or January 1 or whenever, that you are assuming you're going to be here to do that. So why are we waiting? Why are we wasting away our life waiting on Monday, waiting on January 1? Why? Why are we assuming that? We're not promised tomorrow, and we are definitely not promised next week. We're not even promised the rest of today. And I don't say that to be dramatic. I say it to be honest. Every single idea you've ever had that mattered, it showed up in a moment. A moment. Something happened in your life that triggered a thought. Sometimes I wonder where those thoughts come from, because my brain is not where my personal space is at that moment, but that's not the point. It happened in a moment, especially the funny ones when you wake up in the middle of the night with an idea. That's a whole nother conversation too. But we were given an idea in a moment. It showed up and it wasn't on somebody's schedule. It's not like you put in your planner, hey, I'm going to have an idea at 12:01 today. And God knows I did not have an idea planned in my schedule for 3 a.m. when I wake up and I can't go back to sleep because I have this amazing idea. Got to get it on paper. Got to get it on paper. How many times have you done that? How many times have you woke up in the middle of the night with the coolest idea, and if you don't write it down, when you wake up the next morning, it is not there anymore? And it's not after a 12-step plan. Look, I got a whole 90-day plan coming up. Y'all are going to absolutely love this. I have worked on this for months now. But I'm telling you, you don't have to start on January 1, February 1, whatever, to start it. You start in the moment you decide to make a decision to move on with your life and whatever idea it is that you have decided you're going to move on with. And it doesn't wait until you feel fully ready. Is that ever going to happen? Like if you say, okay, I'm going to go run a marathon. And then you wake up the next day, maybe after you've trained for months on end and you have ran 12, 13 miles, you might feel ready. But I don't think anybody has ever said, okay, I'm going to run 26.2 miles in a day. Okay, there's a couple crazy people that have, but for the most part, stick with me here. Most of us don't. And it's not after a 12-step plan that you come up with an idea, right? It's not once you feel fully ready. And it showed up when your heart was open enough to receive it. Think about that. So maybe you've had all these really cool ideas and they keep popping back up. Like the same idea over and over again. Have you had something like that happen? I'm going to say this podcast because my goodness, it comes up on my brain every morning when I wake up. Oh, that'd be a really cool idea. I'm talking to friends. Oh, that'd be something so cool to talk about. I know so many people have dealt with this. This would be such a good subject to talk about. It keeps coming up. It doesn't come up when I have time to sit down and talk. But the funny thing is, once you get started, ooh, the ideas keep rolling. I could talk all day long about it. But I can also come up with 50,000 reasons as to why I don't need to be. So it doesn't come up just when your heart was open enough to receive it. I think sometimes, and this happens because I am a woman of faith, and I feel like God gives us nudges sometimes. He's like, hey, I've given you a really good idea, and I think that this would be something that you can go and help so many people with. You've got a wild story. You've got an awesome story to share. This would be something really neat that you need to go talk to people about. And I'm like, no, God, not me. Who am I? Like, what? Just little old me? Like, I don't think I'm anything special. But it's funny because the words come. I get to talking to somebody and they're going through something and the words show up. Have you ever had that happen? Maybe you didn't want to, or you didn't have the feeling in that moment that you needed to do something. But once you sat down and you started writing, the words flowed. Maybe when you started filming the videos to post on social media, the ideas started coming. Maybe when you got out there and start running to exercise, all of a sudden you feel free. Or how about you start cooking some healthy meals and you see a whole side of yourself you didn't know existed? Have you ever cooked something and like you have seriously fought yourself? I really don't want to get up and go in there and cook because then I'm going to have to wash the dishes and I'm going to have to do this and that and the other. And then you get in there and you get your music playing and you're having a good old time. And then you remember how much you like to cook. Yeah, that happens. I still don't persuade myself very often because my husband likes to cook more than I do. But yeah, that happens to me. So back to what we were saying, because I'm really good about getting off on tangents. But anyway, why the idea chose you. This part matters. So listen really closely. Ideas do not come to us randomly. That thought that you can't shake, that pull towards something more, that whole meant for more, that feeling, hit that quiet voice that keeps saying there's more for you. You are not meant to get up every day and drive an hour to work and work all day and drive an hour home and not see your children and not get any rest, not get to do anything. You were meant for more. That is not your purpose in life. Now, mind you, some of us have absolutely amazing jobs that we absolutely love. Love the people I work with. I love what I do. I am so very blessed in my day job to get to help people every single day. If you don't know me, my personal job is a real estate closing agent. So I get to sit at the table for people with one of their biggest purchases in life, buying a house. Unfortunately, I get to sit with families that have lost a loved one and they're selling their homes too. But there's always a blessing in that moment. There is a blessing every time I sit at the closing table and talk with people. There's a reason why God put me in that position. There's a reason. It doesn't matter what the reason is, but I feel like God puts the ideas and all these things in our path because it's bigger than us. But that idea, it didn't come to you randomly. Whatever it is that you wanted to do, that thought, you can't shake it for a reason. The idea chose you because you already have what it takes to take the first step. Let that sit with you for a second. You already have it. Whatever that idea is, whatever it is that you have on your heart that you are wanting to do and you are procrastinating for whatever reason or pushing it off to some later date, you already have everything you need. You do not need to go buy another laptop, another camera. You don't have to go get some fancy running shoes or new pots and pans. You have what you need. You don't have to take the whole staircase, just the first step. You don't have to have the whole 5-year plan, just the first step. And somehow we convince ourselves that we need more information, more validation, more certainty, when in reality, clarity comes after movement, not before it. That's back to that whole idea. If you're writing a book and you trudge on because you're like, I don't know what to write, I have writer's block. I hear that all the time from my writer friends. I have writer's block. Yeah, but the funny thing is, if you sit down and you start writing about writer's block, all of a sudden, it's not a block. You can write, you can tell hours and hours and hours. It's a procrastination problem. You don't want to get up off your cozy couch and go sit at your desk. So don't bring the computer to you. There's always something you can do there. But the thing is, clarity comes after movement. I have a friend that I absolutely admire, and I don't know if she's going to hear this or not, but she is training for a marathon. We've been friends. She was a work colleague for a while, but we continued to be friends after she took another job. And she has just amazed me and inspired me. No, I'm not going to go run a marathon. I love to run, but I want to run for me, not to do some marathon. But every single day, she posts these videos about how many miles she ran. And I am cheering her on, y'all. Like, I cannot wait to see her hit that 26.2 miles. Like, I am so excited for her. I have never believed anybody could do it as much as I have for her. And I don't even know that she knows this, but I am so excited. But I know she also has this same feeling sometimes, because it's funny watching her videos. I could tell that she had that moment of, oh my God, it's raining outside and I have to go run. But she still did it. And she is inspiring us because she did. And she's posting this video of her running in the rain. And she might tell me that I'm completely wrong and I'm reading it completely wrong. But maybe I'm imposing myself on her, like maybe she's not feeling uninspired to run when it's raining. But in my little world, if it's raining outside and it's cold, we are not running. So I am very inspired by her. My point is once you get out there and get doing it, you're already wet. Who gives a flying flip, right? Like, you just run. Just do it. If you are writing and you sit down and write and it sucks, who cares? You cannot edit a blank page. So write whatever you want to. It may not even have anything to do with the book you're writing. But if you start writing, if you start typing, if you start handwriting, whatever, the ideas will start flowing and you will be 5,000 words later and not even realize what you've done. Yeah, you don't have to have the 5-year plan, just the next step. And somehow we convince ourselves that we need more information, more validation, more certainty, when in reality, clarity comes after movement, not before it. Here's another funny thing to think about. Over research is often just fear in disguise. Overly researching, I should say, is often just fear in disguise. I can tell you, I am the world's worst. I was just having a conversation with my husband about this because it's so funny. Like, I'm like, okay, probably 10 years of me talking about wanting to do a podcast. Like, I've been talking about doing a podcast before podcasting was ever really a big thing. And I bought all kinds of equipment. I've watched millions of videos. There's one lady that I've probably watched every single video that she has about 10 times because I will research the heck out of something. On the other side of that, I've got some really cool equipment that if this podcast takes off, I'm not going to feel so bad about. But if it doesn't, who cares? This is for me, right? Nobody cares. But over research is often just fear in disguise. Let's be real for a second. Sometimes researching isn't about preparation, it's about procrastination. There's that darn P word again, dressed up as productivity. Procrastination dressed up as productivity. Did that hit? Did that hit hard? Yeah. We scroll, we compare, we watch other people do the darn thing that we are scared to start. But the truth is, you already know enough to begin. You don't need to master the entire journey to take one step forward. You don't need to watch any more videos. You don't need to buy any more equipment. You've got this. The moment is the assignment. Here's what I believe with my whole self. Are you listening? My whole self. When a thought drops into your heart, that moment is the assignment. That moment, that particular moment, when you had that idea, that moment was your assignment. Not someday, not later, not when conditions are perfect, because now is the only place life actually happening. Momentum is built in motion. Confidence is built in action, and faith is built by moving before you can see the full picture. Think about a cruise ship. These thousands of people get on this big old ship and head out into the abyss, the ocean, especially if you go at night. If you ever get the blessing of going on a cruise, well, for one, you're going to be addicted and you'll go a million more times. But if you ever get the ability to go on a cruise and you go outside at night, you'll see the light shining down on the water next to the boat. And it's really cool. You see the waves and the water splashing. That's awesome and everything. But when you look out, it is solid blackness, like the abyss. Occasionally, you'll see a light way off in a distance on some land somewhere, or maybe even another ship passing. But for the most part, it is darkness. So, my point with this is you got your ship captain and all these thousands of people, and he is tugging us along out there, believing 100% in the instruments and the information and everything that he has at his fingertips to get this whole ship from point A to point B safely. He is using faith to get us to where we're going. He has that faith instilled in him and everything that he knows that he is going to get from point A to point B and everybody's safe. Another example of this is a pilot. If you're ever flying along and you fly into clouds or a storm or something, the pilot can't see the ground. So whenever he is coming to land, he has to depend on all of his equipment, his instruments, all of that, and all the knowledge that he has and the faith that he has that all that's going to work to get that plane down safely with all those people on it. He's not waiting to gather any more information. He's using what he has to land that plane safely. It is built by moving before you get to see the full picture. So, in closing, if you are waiting for Monday, if you are waiting for January, newsflash, it's already here. If you are waiting to feel ready, this is your reminder. Life is happening right now. Start messy, start imperfect, start with what you have. Because the moment you say yes and move, even just a little bit, life will meet you there. If this episode resonated with you, let this be your permission slip to start now. Not on Monday, not on the first, not when things feel a little less messy, but in this moment, exactly as you are. You don't need to overhaul your entire life today. One intentional step is enough because momentum is built in action, not in waiting. Thank you for spending this time with me and choosing to elevate your intentions into action. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to follow the podcast, share it with someone who needs this reminder, and come back next time because life is happening now.